Hello, wonderful friends. Thank you for joining me today. Before we begin, if you're new here, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It truly helps our community grow, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Today we're talking about something incredibly powerful, the signs that you're on track to join the exclusive Century Club. That's right, living to 100 years old and beyond. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is that even desirable? Do I want to live that long? Well, what if I told you that the markers of longevity aren't just about adding years to your life, but adding life to your years? You see, the research is clear. Those who reach their 90s and beyond in good health didn't just have lucky genes, although that certainly helps. They consistently demonstrated specific behaviors and health indicators throughout their 60s, 70s, and 80s that protected their bodies and minds. And the wonderful news? Many of these indicators are within your control, even if you're starting today. I've studied the research, consulted with longevity experts, and observed patterns among vibrant seniors in their 90s and beyond. Today, I'm sharing the 7 most powerful indicators that you're on track for exceptional longevity. Each one is backed by science, but more importantly, each one represents an opportunity, a chance to make changes today that could dramatically impact your tomorrow. So let's dive in. Here are the 7 signs that if you're between 65-80 and can still do them, you're likely destined to celebrate your 100th birthday. You can still get up from the floor without using your hands. This first sign might surprise you with its simplicity, but it's remarkably predictive of longevity. The ability to lower yourself to the floor and rise back up with minimal or no hand support is what scientists call the sit-ride test, and it's a powerful predictor of mortality risk. Let me paint you a picture of 2 75-year-olds, Margaret and Barbara. Margaret needs to use both hands, push off her knees, and sometimes even requires help from a chair or another person to get up from the floor after playing with her grandchildren. She struggles with this basic movement, which indicates weaknesses in her core strength, balance, and overall muscle coordination. Barbara, on the other hand, can sit cross-legged on the floor during family gatherings and rise back up using little to no hand support. She might not think anything of this ability, but research published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that this simple test is highly predictive of mortality risk. Those who needed significant support to get up from the floor had a 5-6 times higher risk of death within the next several years compared to those who could do it easily. Why is this so important? This movement requires a combination of strength, balance, flexibility, and coordination. It tests multiple body systems simultaneously and reflects your overall physical capacity and risk of falls, a leading cause of disability in older adults. Here's the good news. This is a modifiable skill. If you currently need to use your hands, furniture, or someone's help to rise from the floor, you can improve. Start with supervised exercises that strengthen your core and leg muscles. Practice controlled movements of sitting and standing from progressively lower surfaces. Many physical therapists and senior fitness programs specifically target this fundamental skill. Even small improvements here can significantly reduce your fall risk and improve your longevity outlook. Remember, it's not about doing this perfectly. It's about working with what you have and gradually building your capacity. Every bit of improvement counts toward your longevity potential. You maintain strong social connections and purpose. The second indicator of exceptional longevity isn't physical at all, it's social and psychological. If you're between 65-80 and still maintain meaningful social connections and a sense of purpose, you're exhibiting one of the strongest predictors of reaching your 100th birthday. Consider the contrast between 2 70-year-old neighbors, James and Robert. James retired 5 years ago and has gradually withdrawn from social activities. He rarely leaves his home except for essential errands, has lost touch with former colleagues, and struggles to name more than 1 or 2 people he regularly interacts with. His days lack structure, and he often can't identify what he's looking forward to next week. Robert, however, volunteers twice weekly at the local library, participates in a walking group, and meets his former workmates monthly for lunch. He's learning to play the piano, something he always wanted to do, and teaches his skills in woodworking to interested young people in a community program. He can easily name 5 to 10 people he meaningfully connects with each week, and his calendar has a healthy mix of commitments and leisure activities he genuinely enjoys. The science is compelling. Research from the famous blue zones, regions with the highest concentration of centenarians, consistently shows that strong social connections and purpose are common denominators among those who live to 100 and beyond. A landmark study published in PLOS One found that people with stronger social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weaker social relationships. Furthermore, the Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on human happiness, concluded that the quality of our relationships is the single strongest predictor of well-being in later life, more than wealth, fame, social class, or even physical health. What can you do if your social connections have dwindled? Start small, but be intentional. Reach out to one person this week, a family member, old friend, or acquaintance. Community centers, religious organizations, and volunteer opportunities all offer structured ways to meet people with shared interests. Consider classes geared toward seniors, from technology to art to fitness, which provide both learning and socializing opportunities. As for purpose, it doesn't need to be grand. Purpose comes from feeling that you matter and contribute in some way. Mentor a young person, share your skills, volunteer, or simply be the person who remembers everyone's birthdays in your family. What matters is that you have reasons to get up in the morning that extend beyond yourself. You can walk a quarter mile without stopping. Walking is one of our most fundamental movements, yet its significance for predicting longevity is profound. If you're between 65-80 and can comfortably walk a quarter mile, about 400 meters, or once around a standard track without stopping, you're demonstrating a critical marker of health that strongly correlates with reaching your 100th birthday. Let's compare two 78-year-olds, William and Thomas. William gets winded walking from his car to the grocery store entrance. He needs to stop multiple times to catch his breath when moving around the shopping center. Even short distances leave him feeling exhausted, and he increasingly avoids activities that require walking. Thomas, in contrast, takes a 20-minute walk around his neighborhood each morning. He can easily walk several blocks to visit a friend or to the local farmer's market without feeling strained. He doesn't think twice about parking further away from store entrances or taking the stairs for a floor or two. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that walking speed and capacity in older adults is a remarkably accurate predictor of longevity. Those who could walk a quarter mile without difficulty had significantly lower mortality rates over the following years. In fact, some researchers have suggested that walking capacity is such a powerful integrative assessment of health that it serves as a kind of vital sign for older adults. Walking tests multiple physiological systems simultaneously: cardiovascular fitness, respiratory health, muscle strength, neurological function, and even psychological wellness. It's a real-world test of how well your body is functioning as an integrated system. If you currently struggle with walking distances, there's much you can do to improve. Start with very short distances, even walking to your mailbox and back, and gradually increase over time. Consider using walking aids like a cane or walker if they help you maintain activity. They're tools for independence, not signs of weakness. Swimming or water walking provides similar benefits with reduced joint stress. Chair exercises can help build the necessary strength if walking is currently too challenging. The key is consistency over intensity. A daily 5-minute walk, eventually becoming a daily 10-minute walk, will do more for your longevity than an occasional ambitious attempt that leaves you discouraged. Remember that this capacity can improve at any age, with the right approach. Your grip strength remains strong. Our fourth indicator might surprise you, but it's supported by robust scientific evidence. Grip strength is a powerful predictor of longevity. If you're between 65-80 and still have relatively strong hands that can open jars, carry groceries, or firmly shake hands, You're demonstrating a biomarker strongly associated with reaching your 100th birthday. Consider Helen and Dorothy, both 73 years old. Helen struggles to open medicine bottles, needs help with luggage, and finds knitting increasingly difficult as her hands feel weak and sometimes painful. Simple tasks like turning doorknobs or carrying a shopping bag can be challenging. Dorothy, meanwhile, still opens her own jars, carries multiple grocery bags from the car, and has a notably firm handshake. She continues to garden, including tasks that require grip strength like pruning and digging. These abilities might seem mundane, but they reflect something profound about her overall health. Research published in The Lancet found that grip strength is a stronger predictor of all-cause mortality than systolic blood pressure. A large-scale study of nearly 140,000 people across 17 countries confirmed that each 5-kilogram reduction in grip strength was associated with a 16% higher risk of all-cause mortality. Why does grip strength matter so much? It's not actually about the hands themselves, but what they represent. Grip strength is a surrogate marker for overall muscle mass and strength throughout your body. It reflects your overall vitality and functional capacity. Strong hands typically indicate a strong body, and muscle preservation is a critical component of healthy aging. The good news is that grip strength is modifiable at any age. If you notice your hands weakening, specific exercises can help. Squeezing a soft ball or hand gripper, wrist curls with light weights, and even everyday activities like kneading bread dough can maintain hand strength. Proper nutrition, particularly adequate protein intake, is crucial for preserving muscle mass, including in your hands. Don't dismiss weakening grip as an inevitable part of aging. While some changes are normal, significant weakness warrants attention. Speak with your healthcare provider about appropriate exercises, and consider consulting a physical or occupational therapist who specializes in hand strengthening for older adults. Remember, strong hands reflect a strong body, and a strong body is a cornerstone of exceptional longevity. You maintain a healthy sleep pattern. Our fifth indicator focuses on something we all do, or should do, for approximately 1/3 of our lives: sleep. If you're between 65–80 and maintain healthy, restorative sleep patterns, you're exhibiting another powerful predictor of exceptional longevity. Let's contrast two 68-year-olds, Richard and Edward. Richard's sleep is fragmented and inconsistent. He often stays up late watching television, then struggles to fall asleep. During the night, he wakes frequently and has difficulty returning to sleep. He relies on daytime naps to compensate, but still feels chronically tired. Weekdays and weekends have completely different sleep schedules. Edward, however, maintains a consistent sleep routine. He goes to bed around the same time each night and wakes naturally around the same time each morning. He rarely needs sleep medications, typically sleeps 7–8 hours and wakes feeling refreshed. When he occasionally has a poor night's sleep, it's the exception rather than the rule. The science is clear: quality sleep is fundamental to longevity. A major study published in the journal Sleep found that both too little sleep, less than 6 hours, and too much sleep, more than 9 hours, were associated with increased mortality risk. Those with fragmented sleep patterns and poor sleep quality showed accelerated aging markers and higher rates of chronic diseases. Sleep is when your body conducts essential maintenance. During deep sleep, your brain clears away waste products, including those associated with Alzheimer's disease. Your body repairs tissues, consolidates memories, and regulates hormones that control everything from appetite to stress response. Poor sleep undermines nearly every bodily system, while quality sleep enhances them all. If your sleep has deteriorated, there's much you can do to improve it. Start with consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine without screens. The blue light interferes with melatonin, your sleep hormone. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Limit caffeine after noon and alcohol near bedtime, as both disrupt sleep architecture. Regular exercise improves sleep quality, but try to complete vigorous activity at least 3–4 hours before bedtime. Consider relaxation techniques like deep breathing, gentle stretching, or meditation before sleep. If you nap, keep it to 20–30 minutes and before 3 p.m. to avoid interfering with nighttime sleep. If you consistently struggle with sleep despite these measures, speak with your healthcare provider. Sleep apnea and other treatable conditions become more common as we age and can significantly impact your longevity if left unaddressed. Remember that quality sleep isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity and a powerful predictor of living to see your 100th birthday. You maintain cognitive flexibility and curiosity. Our sixth sign moves from the physical to the mental realm. If you're between 65–80 and still demonstrate cognitive flexibility, curiosity, and a willingness to learn new things, you're showing a powerful predictor of exceptional longevity that's consistently observed among centenarians. Let's consider two 76-year-olds, Martha and Elizabeth. Martha is rigid in her routines and opinions. She refuses to try new technologies, saying she's too old to learn that now. She eats the same meals on the same days each week, watches the same TV programs, and expresses frustration when her routines are disrupted. She dismisses new information that contradicts what she already believes. Elizabeth, conversely, recently started learning to use a tablet computer to video chat with her grandchildren. She joined a book club that exposes her to genres she wouldn't normally read. When her favorite restaurant closed, she enthusiastically tried a new cuisine. She's taking a community education class on local history and frequently says, "I never knew that before." She's willing to reconsider long-held opinions when presented with new evidence. The research is compelling. Cognitive flexibility and continued learning are strongly associated with longevity and protection against dementia. The Rush Memory and Aging Project found that people who scored higher on measures of curiosity and mental flexibility showed slower cognitive decline and reduced dementia risk. Neuroimaging studies reveal that learning new skills creates new neural pathways, literally building what scientists call cognitive reserve, extra capacity that protects against age, cognitive changes. Renowned neurologist Dr. David Snowden's NUN study famously discovered that sisters with more education and who maintained intellectual engagement throughout life showed fewer symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, despite having similar physical brain pathology upon autopsy, compared to their less intellectually engaged counterpart. How can you maintain or improve your cognitive flexibility? Challenge yourself to learn something new each month, whether it's using a smartphone feature, trying a new recipe, taking a different route to a familiar destination, or learning a few phrases in another language. Seek out people with different perspectives and genuinely try to understand their viewpoints. Take up activities that require learning new patterns or skills, from crossword puzzles to dancing to crafts. When you catch yourself saying, "That's just how I am," or "I'm too old for that," gently challenge that assumption. Our brains remain capable of learning and adapting throughout our lives. The willingness to embrace new experiences rather than retreat into the comfort of the familiar is a hallmark of those who not only live longer, but enjoy those additional years with mental sharpness and engagement. You recover well from stress and setbacks. Our final indicator of exceptional longevity is perhaps the most profound: resilience. If you're between 65–80 and demonstrate the ability to recover effectively from stress, adapt to change, and bounce back from setbacks, you're exhibiting a characteristic strongly associated with reaching 100 years old. Consider two 77-year-olds, George and Albert. When George experiences a setback, whether a health challenge, financial concern, or family conflict, he tends to ruminate extensively, letting the issue consume his thoughts. He struggles to sleep, loses appetite, and withdraws from activities he enjoys. Minor problems feel catastrophic, and recovery from stress takes a toll that leaves him diminished. Albert experiences similar challenges but responds differently. When faced with a health scare last year, he gathered information, consulted appropriate professionals, developed a plan, and continued participating in life while addressing the issue. He acknowledges difficult emotions without being overwhelmed by them. After setbacks, he returns to baseline functioning relatively quickly, and sometimes even grows stronger from the experience. The science of resilience and longevity is compelling. A landmark study from the Yale School of Public Health found that people with positive perceptions of aging lived, on average, 7.5 years longer than those with negative perceptions. A greater effect than not smoking or maintaining healthy blood pressure. The Ohio longitudinal study of aging and retirement demonstrated that psychological resilience was a stronger predictor of longevity than many physical health measures. Resilience isn't about avoiding stress. That's impossible. Rather, it's about how quickly and completely you recover from it. Your nervous system's ability to return to baseline after stress is a biological marker of longevity. Chronic stress creates inflammatory patterns associated with virtually every age disease, while effective stress recovery promotes healing and cellular repair. The wonderful news is that resilience can be developed at any age. Start by cultivating awareness of your stress responses. Notice physical sensations, thought patterns, and behaviors that emerge when you're stressed. Simple techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation can calm your nervous system during challenging moments. Reframing situations cognitively is powerful. Asking, "What can I learn from this?" or "How might this challenge help me grow?" shifts your perspective. Maintaining perspective through phrases like, "This too shall pass," or "In 5 years, will this matter?" helps prevent catastrophizing. Physical activity is one of the most effective stress buffers available. Even gentle movement like walking or stretching can shift your physiological state. Connecting with supportive others during difficult times rather than isolating yourself provides both emotional comfort and different perspectives on challenges. Importantly, resilience doesn't mean suppressing emotions or toughing it out. Acknowledging and expressing feelings appropriately is part of healthy coping. The goal is to experience emotions without being overwhelmed by them and to return to equilibrium efficiently after disruption. Your roadmap to becoming a centenarian. As we've explored these 7 powerful indicators of exceptional longevity, I hope you've recognized both strengths to celebrate and opportunities for growth in your own life. The path to becoming a centenarian isn't about perfection. It's about patterns, consistency, and the accumulation of healthy choices over time. Let's quickly revisit our 7 signs that you're destined to live to 100. 1. You can still get up from the floor without using your hands. 2. You maintain strong social connections and purpose. 3. You can walk a quarter mile without stopping. 4. Your grip strength remains strong. 5. You maintain healthy sleep patterns. 6. You demonstrate cognitive flexibility and curiosity. 7. You recover well from stress and setbacks. Notice how these indicators span physical, mental, social, and emotional dimensions of health. True longevity isn't about addressing just one aspect of wellness. It's about nurturing the entire system that is you. The body and mind are inseparable partners in the journey to 100 and beyond. What if you're not currently demonstrating all these signs? That's completely normal and absolutely addressable. Few people excel in all areas naturally. The power lies in identifying where you can make meaningful improvements and taking consistent small steps in those directions. Remember that longevity isn't just genetic destiny. Research suggests that genes account for only about 25–30% of your lifespan potential. The majority comes down to lifestyle factors and choices within your control, many of which we've discussed today. I encourage you to choose just one area from our discussion to focus on this coming week. Perhaps it's practicing getting up from the floor with less support, scheduling a walking session, experimenting with a new sleep routine, or reaching out to reconnect with someone important to you. Small, consistent actions create powerful momentum over time. Before we part ways today, I have 3 requests for you. First, if you found this information valuable, please click the like button and share this video with someone you care about. The principles we've discussed today have the power to transform lives, and sharing is a beautiful way to contribute to others' well-being. Second, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 7 indicators do you already excel at? Which one are you most motivated to improve? Your insights might inspire someone else on their longevity journey. Finally, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. We release new videos each week, designed to help you live not just a longer life, but a fuller, more vibrant one. Thank you for joining me today. Here's to your journey to 100 years and beyond, filled with health, purpose, and joy every step of the way.